We're excited to bring you this class, by the way. This class is called How to Build a Better Life. And Christy and I have been like just working really hard on making sure we're meeting people where they're at, like making sure that the services we're offering are like really juicy and good for you guys. So we want to, one thing that's really important to Christy and I, both of us, is that we're offering so many different options for so many different types of people, depending on where you're at, where you're located. So we've been trying to like broaden that. So this is just one of those things that we felt like really compelled to bring you so that you can, like, we've got 6 months left this year and let's make the most of it. I don't know how your guys' first 6 months went, but it could have gone better. You know what I mean? For like, I would say a majority of my clients had a hard first 6 months.
Yeah, I mean, I think that we've been doing a lot of soul level work. We've been learning a lot of lessons, and it's been challenging. And I think that the energy right now is really calling for us to open and to learn, how do we build a better life? How do I take advantage of, even though this energy has been challenging, how do I take advantage of it and use it to level up in my life?
100%. And hi to Erin. She's joining me with coffee. So we're going to be, Erin, text me at 1 a.m. Like we're just going for it right now.
I'm here with water because I can't hang with the coffee.
We used to do this with booze. So just imagine.
I would like to watch the comments, but I can't figure out how without having the sound. Yep, so we're gonna just not. I'll let
Okay.
you.
I've got the comments. So
All right.
here's the deal. We're gonna get started because we have so much for you, but we don't want to keep you. It's Monday. We know you've got work tomorrow. We know you've got kids to put to bed. And this will be available on replay. So if you've signed up through the link on the website, and if you need that link just to make sure you get the emails, let me know. But we want to make sure that you get all of this information as quick as possible. We want to respect your time. So if you have questions, if you have comments, please drop them in the comment section. I will be reading them and trying to answer as many as we can. But Chrissy, are we good to get going?
Yeah, I think so. Let's dive
Do
in.
it.
So I think that something that I want to start with, because I think that a lot of people that are checking us out, some of them are new to you, new to me. So for those of you who have not met me, I am Christy Forsyth, and this is Nicole Eaton. We have a lot of experience combined together. And I think that it's a really powerful thing when we bring our experience together. We actually have over 40 plus years of combined experience in the helping professions.
We've been doing this for literal ever. We worked with 100, probably close to thousands together combined of people to help them really reconnect with their personal power, feel more empowered in their life to make a better decision. And really one of my favorite things personally is to help people feel empowered to create a life that feels really good. Like, I don't care if you're rich. I don't care if you've got accolades. I care how you feel on a day-to-day basis. And of course, when you feel good, those things kind of fall into place, which we'll talk about. But this whole class is meant to help you live a better life and feel better in your life.
So we're pulling from all of that experience, and we're going to share all of these juicy little tidbits with you. I think that you guys are going to be able to take these and apply them to your life right away and notice the improvement with that.
Absolutely. So stick around, and like I said, if you can't stay for the whole thing, don't worry. I am sending out a replay, but you should stay for the whole thing. Because we're going to actually break these down into tips and tools. Like I was telling Christy earlier, I hate when I watch a webinar and I feel like I got nothing out of it. Like that pisses me off. So I promise, this is my promise to you. You guys will at least have a couple tips and tricks in all of these different areas: burning bridges with your bullshit, 10xing your confidence, and becoming the universe's favorite. We've been saying it, girl, but it is a gender neutral experience. Like, men are welcome too. But we want to help you build a better life. So maybe you're like, is this class for me? And I think there's like a couple of things to be mindful of that you might notice in your life that this is for sure for you. So one of the things that we've been talking about is anybody who feels like they're just going through the motions, like, I'm waking up, I'm going to work, I'm doing the kid thing, I'm going to sleep, and I'm starting all over again. Like, this is the class for you. We're going to help you get your spark and motivation back.
Right. It's like that sense of being on autopilot and just feeling like, you know what, every single day looks exactly the same. I don't feel like I'm moving. I don't feel like I'm doing anything different. I don't feel like I'm building a better life.
Yep. And then there's always like that, like if you're feeling stuck in any specific area of your life. So I know a lot of people come to me when they're feeling really stuck in their businesses. Like, I've had this business for a while and it's just not doing what I want it to do, or I've been stuck in this relationship and like it doesn't feel the way I want it to feel or the way it used to feel. So that's an area you can recognize like, oh, this class is for me. I need that if you're feeling really like stuck or just stagnancy in any area of your life.
And I would love to hear from you guys, those of you who are watching live, like raise your hand, give us a hand raise emoji, or just say me, something in the comments. Let us know, like, this is for you. These are some of the things that you've been feeling. Maybe you've been feeling like there aren't any new opportunities, right? Like you're just kind of feeling that sense of stuckness and like, it's like, okay, I'm in this stagnant energy. Nothing new is really coming in. And of course, probably you're wanting something new to come in, whether that's in your love life and in your business, you're wanting more success in your life.
Yeah. And I think too, like, there's that element of like when you're either like burnout or just too tired or too busy. And I know for me, like, my kids are running in 20 different directions. So I have to be extremely intentional about taking care of myself. Otherwise, I get so caught up in everybody else's schedule that I like lose sight of my own creative powers. Like, I lose myself and all of that. So that's another good sign that you're in the right place. If you're like, I've just been so busy, I don't even have time to think about me. This is it. This is for you.
Or you're in that place where you're feeling like, what's next? There's something next. There's something, you're ready for a level up. You're ready for a change. You're ready to take it to that next level. This is absolutely the class for you.
Yeah. So it looks like Amanda's saying yes. And Samantha says nothing worse than a free webinar that teaches you nothing. So we've got you, Samantha.
Great.
We're going to give you some good tips and tricks here. Pinky promise. Pinky promise. But let's talk about like one of the bigger issues. I think one of the bigger issues is when you are tied to your bullshit. Like, when I say bullshit, what I mean is the things, the same patterns, the same like limiting beliefs, the same fears and anxieties, the same mental focuses. Maybe you're just bitching all day about the boss you hate. Maybe you're, addicted to like a old toxic partner. Whatever that is for you, being able to identify and like know like I'm in the wrong place, like being able to see your own bullshit in the is one of the first steps to like undoing it.
And I think that we can feel it, right? We have a sense that we've got some bullshit holding us back. We wouldn't be stuck if we didn't have bullshit holding us back. But I think that the important thing here with this is this level of responsibility. It's so important for us to be willing to call ourselves out.
Yes, that is like our first step. Okay. So if you're like, I'm somebody who I recognize I have a role in this relationship, I have a role in this dynamic with my boss, like taking radical responsibility is one of the most important things you can do to change your life. Because when you're playing victim to your life, when you're sitting around saying, well, my boss treats me bad, or my partner treats me bad, or I just like, nothing's changing in my career and, I'm not meeting anybody, all of those things in some regard are connected and tied back to you and what you're doing and what you're allowing and the standards that you have for your life. So radical responsibility and being willing to call yourself out in your bullshit is step one.
And we have to be willing to take a look at that, because when we take a look at that, that's where we're able to make change to it. When you continue to just push it aside and avoid it and are unwilling to take that responsibility for it, you're never going to be able to take the steps that you need to take in order to address it. So to shine a light on it and to be willing, and it requires a level of bravery to take a look at this stuff, because this isn't easy to call yourself out. But when you can be willing to do that, that's going to help you to be able to identify the steps that you need to take in order to make some changes to that.
One of my favorite things to ask myself is, where am I being the problem? Because it's easy to like, and there are true things where you are a victim too. Like, so don't get me wrong, not everything is your fault. But if there's a situation that keeps coming up in your life, I'll ask myself, okay, where am I being the problem? Like, what is my role in this? And it, like Chrissy said, it takes massive courage to be able to say, I'm ready to take a look at this stuff. I'm ready to own my part. I'm ready to have hard conversations or make uncomfortable actions. I'm ready to do those things.
And I think also when you have this awareness of the bullshit that's present, we also can be in a place where we can energetically release it. This is something that we do so much in our retreats and the work that we do together is help people to energetically release things. And so that awareness supports you in being able to energetically release it. And a quick, simple way to energetically release something is to simply take a look at that and say, I choose to release this from my life, and be very intentional about continually sending that out of your life. There's a lot of different ways that we can energetically do it, but that's one of the first steps in terms of just like releasing that from your energy field, releasing it from your life, because our energy field is impacting, influencing every aspect of our lives.
I think most people don't realize that your energy field, and especially heaviness in your energy field, can influence your thought patterns. And when you get rid of that heaviness in your energy field, a lot of times those stuck thoughts, those limiting beliefs actually start to move a lot easier with the coping skills and with the mindset tools, just by moving the energy alone. And I think I know you just mentioned this, but this is something we are going to deep dive into this retreat. So we have a retreat coming up called the 48-hour vibe upgrade, and we're going to actually be resetting your energy for you. So I think that's like one of my favorite things that we get to do, because sometimes you can do it yourself. So there are a million YouTube meditations, there are a million visualization guided meditations that will walk you through that block removal. So if you feel heavy on any part of your body, this is what I would love for you to focus on. But at the 48-hour vibe upgrade, we are going to be doing several energetic sessions to remove layers of old energy so that you feel brand new again.
And not only that, we're going to be sending you home with the understanding of how to do it yourself. And
Yeah.
so you're leaving there with tools so that as this bullshit builds back up, right? Because that's life, bullshit builds up. We go through different experiences. So as that's happening, you're going to be able to work on yourself and release that energy yourself. So we're going to be bringing all of the information, all of the experiences with that, so that you know how to do that and that you're supported in doing that by us at the retreat.
Yeah. So just like quick review, if you're starting the process of burning bridges with your bullshit, radical responsibility, being willing to face your stuff, and then really checking in on your energy. And like I said, there are free YouTube guided meditations on that all over. Just search like energy block removal. There's music, but we are going to deep dive into it in the 48-hour vibe upgrade retreat. So 10xing your confidence, I think confidence is the thing that single-handedly changed just about everything for me, because stepping like truly into my power, into my confidence has brought me so many opportunities than like hiding and playing small. So like, what is the first thing that you do when it comes to like making your confidence better?
For me, it's making commitments to myself, right? So once we have identified what our bullshit is, where we need to make some changes, where we need to make some tweaks and adjustments, then we get to that place where it's like, okay, I've got to make a commitment to myself. What commitment am I willing to make to myself? Because here's the thing is, when you make a commitment to yourself and you honor it, that is one of the most beautiful forms of self-love that you can give yourself. And so you're intentionally giving yourself that self-love. As you give yourself that self-love, that translates into confidence down the line. So it's like honoring that. And then also that confidence in knowing that when you make a commitment to yourself, that you choose to honor it. When you make a commitment to create a change, that you're able to honor it. You're able to make that change.
And a lot of times people think that those commitments have to be massive, especially like, this is why resolutions suck and fail most of the time, is that we overshoot on our promises to ourselves and we just simply aren't there yet to be able to follow through them. So do not underestimate the power of making a small commitment to yourself. So something that is a commitment of mine is that I move my body every morning. I don't even care for how long. I just have to move my body every morning. Or another commitment of mine is that I spend at least 5 minutes just in manifestation mode, thinking positive thoughts, setting intentions for my day, that's something that impacts me incredibly over time. It just helps reprogram your thoughts. But even if you wake up and you're like, I'm going to drink a full glass of water this morning before I do anything else, and then you do it, you start to prove to yourself that you're somebody you can trust. Because think about this. If every time I called Christy and was like, hey, can you pick up my kids after school today? And then she just never picked up my kids after school, like I would stop asking her because I don't trust that she's somebody that would follow through. It's a same relationship with us. We have a relationship with ourselves. And if we prove to ourselves so many times that we're not somebody we can trust, then we're going to, any commitment we make, we're not going to follow through. So you have to start to build that trust. And that's where confidence actually comes into play, is when you say, I'm going to do something, and then you fucking do it.
And it's little tweaks, it's little movements too, right? So it doesn't even have to be every single day I'm going to do this. It can be, I'm going to go to bed a little bit earlier tonight. You know, it can be those little tweaks, because sometimes I find when people are trying to make change, the way that the brain works is the brain gets very overwhelmed when we make these big commitments or they have these high expectations. And so when you make just these little tweaks and you slowly work toward that, and maybe you're slowly working toward going to bed early every single night or something, you know, and being on a consistent schedule. But when you make those little tweaks and you slowly work toward it, that prevents the brain from getting too overwhelmed with that and just saying, forget it all. I don't want to do any of it. I'm going to just go back to the old way that I was doing things and sabotage myself again. So those little tweaks, those little changes, it can be as simple as waking up in the morning. A client shared this with me last week. She said, every day I've been waking up saying today is going to be a good day. And that little thing, it takes 1 second, and she's noticed a difference in her life, in her day, every single day that she's using that, because she's being intentional with it. And that's something that I think is so important with confidence, is being intentional as well. Saying, this is who I want to be. This is how I want to experience my life. This is something that I am intentional in terms of. We'll talk about this when we get down to the become the universe's it girl. But in terms of manifestation or creation, I'm always talking about being intentional about confidence for myself. So I am confident. That'll be something that I will write down in my intentions that I write.
100%. I always say I wrote myself out of depression. I wrote myself out of insecurity because I started to decide. And the way I did that is I started to become my own hype girl. Like, why was I my own bully? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, why would I choose to do that if I am being intentional about who I want to become? Does the version of me who's my best version of myself, who's my favorite version of myself, does that version of me tell her that she's fucking stupid, or tell her that she can't do things right, or is never going to be successful? Like, my favorite version of me doesn't put me down. So why would I not do that? So making a practice of being your own personal hype girl, looking in the mirror in the morning, you're confident, you've got this, you're the catch, you're the prize, you're the whole damn vibe. Being, and I like phrases that I can repeat. That's one of my phrases that I like to repeat. I'm the catch, I'm the prize, I'm the whole damn vibe, because it just does something internally. Like, it feels really nice. But that's like a big thing for me, is finding little phrases that I know and I have on hand to repeat, because my brain naturally likes to go in a negative way. Born that way, I don't know, but I have to be intentional about who I am and who I believe myself to be, or I will default to something I don't want and isn't true anyway.
Absolutely. I also think that with confidence, something that I've noticed about myself is that you have to try new things. You have to try the things, even if you don't feel like you have the confidence to do it anyway. Nicole knows, like, for years, I struggled with speaking and pushing myself out of my comfort zone with speaking and making videos and things like that. And I found that I didn't wait to make videos until I had the confidence. What I had to do was to make the videos, and then the confidence developed through that process. So that's just one example, but taking that time to just try new things, experience new things, and through that process, we start to develop a confidence around all of that.
100%. And, I think I think that when you try new things and you put yourself out of your comfort zone, like whenever you're doing something new, your brain starts to do something new. Like if you're doing the same thing, like we talked about autopilot, and a couple of you were like, yeah, that is me right now. I feel like I'm on autopilot, doing something new, changing things up, trying something that's really uncomfortable. I just joined a pottery class, and it's like a wheel class, and it's me and like a bunch of like elderly women, but I'm I'm not good at this. All I can make is bowls. Christy knows I've just got bowls everywhere in my house because that's the only thing I know how to make. But putting myself outside of my comfort zone to do something that I'm admittedly bad at has been so good for me to be able to be okay not being perfect, be okay not doing things right. So that's a massive one. And I think that the last one I would put in this category is trusting your gut. Learning how to trust your gut is an absolute superpower when it comes to confidence, because I mean, someone could lie to your face and you would just know, like, I know that what you're doing is wrong and incorrect. I know that what you're saying isn't right. And it's safe to trust myself because my intuition is so strong. And one of the things I'm super excited about for this 48-hour vibe upgrade retreat is that we're going to teach you exactly how to hear your intuition, exactly how your personal intuition speaks, and how to incorporate it in all of your decisions, how to incorporate it in like what the next right steps are, the next right path, and how to hear it for this next part when we start to intentionally create our lives.
I think it could get a little murky, intuition, and so people get fear wrapped into that, and that can be really difficult. One tip that you can apply right now that I think is really helpful is just paying attention to your knee jerk, your immediate response to something. Before you have time to talk yourself out of it, before you have time to project into the future, because intuition happens only in the present moment, only in the now. But it's tricky, and it's something that we're going to be breaking down individually for each and every individual at the 48-hour vibe upgrade.
Yeah. Which leads us to the next thing, because one of the most powerful things that you can do that really is kind of covers all of this, right? It covers the idea that we're not just going to release the energy, but we're going to replace it with something better. We're not just going to like, set intentions. We're going to be able to like listen to that inspired action. So this next part in terms of like collaborating with the universe, because you don't have to do this alone. You've got Christy and I on your side, but like you don't have to do this alone. You can be in this really powerful place when you start to get intentional about how you want your day to go. And I think this is what shifts you out of victim mode and puts you in the power and control seat, is when you start to say, instead of like, oh, I'm dreading this meeting. I have this meeting with my boss. I think it's going to go really bad. Even like saying that just feels shitty, by the way, but like, instead of going down the rabbit hole of all the things you're worried about and all the things you don't want to happen, it's deciding. It's saying, okay, how do I want to feel in this meeting? Well, I want to feel really confident. I'm really confident going in. And when I get there, I feel really respected. I feel really seen. I feel really heard. It actually goes better than I thought. How much different does that feel to say that than to go down the rabbit hole of anxiety about how it's going to go? And the reason this is important in when it comes to intention setting, not only how you feel, but how you want things to go, is your brain is going to start looking for what you tell it. It always looks for what you tell it, whether it's positive or negative. And so this is a really good practice in learning your power and starting to shape your world and create from the inside out.
I love intention setting to start my day. It's one of my non-negotiables to start my day, and I like to write it down. But you can do it any way that you want to. So you can write down 3 things that you want to set intentions for in your day. You can say them out loud. You can think them in your head, whatever vibes with you. And it might look different even day to day as well. But I think the most important thing is to be intentional, because as you're being intentional, you are stepping into your power. You are owning that power that you have here in this world to be a co-creator, to put that order in with the universe, to say, this is how I would like to have things happen. Because a lot of times it can happen that way.
And the clarity in that is so vital. I did a reel the other day, and I said you wouldn't go up to the drive-through and be like, I just want food. Because they would be like, well, what kind of food do you want? Like, what do you want? the clarity in the intentions and actually taking a look at what do I want here? How do I want this to go? Is like placing an order with the universe. It's like placing an order with your mind to begin to allow it to construct what you're going to see. That is your order. You can't get in a cab and be like, take me to the city. They would be like, what city? What address? Where do you actually want to go? And that's exactly how the universe works with us when it comes to intentions as well.
Yeah, because we are so powerful. And I think that so often that we forget that. Another thing that I think is so key is to focus on becoming magnetic, to become a magnet to pull in all of those things that you want to create. And for me, one of the most powerful ways that we can become magnetic is to think about our vibration. So vibration isn't something that everybody understands, but it's basically this idea of that everything is vibration, right? It's the amount of light that your body, that your energy field is carrying, and everything is energy. And so the things that are things that we would really like to magnetize to us typically carry a lot of light, have a lot of positive energy to them. And the things that we would typically not want to magnetize into our experience typically carry a lot of heavy energy, a lot of darker energy. And so to focus on in our day, what does I always call it our vibrational diet. What does our vibrational diet look like? What are we allowing in our morning, throughout the course of our day? What kind of TV are we consuming? What kind of thoughts are we allowing into our life? What kind of people are we interacting with all throughout the day? And I think that is really helpful to just kind of take a little time and focus on, how am I responding to this world around me? How do I feel after I watch that show, after I talk to that person, after I go to that place? And does it feel like it adds to a higher vibration, a more positive vibration, or does it feel like it lowers my vibration and brings me into a darker place? And so when we have an understanding of that, then we have an understanding of what we want to gravitate toward and what we want to pull away from. This is going to adjust the magnet that you are pulling your experiences into. This is going to raise that magnet to pull in higher, better, more light-filled experiences into your life.
And I like to think of like vibration and magnetism as a mood. Like that's how you know where you're at. If you're not in a great mood, and you felt this, you felt when somebody walked into the room and was just like, you were just drawn to them. And it wasn't because they were moping around, and it wasn't because they were all sad and stuff. Like, we're drawn to people who are in a good space. And that's our goal for you, is to get you in a good space where you feel really empowered in your body. Because here's what happens when you are in a good space, and it doesn't have to be like super Pollyanna positive. And that's the thing that people don't understand. It can be pretty neutral. We just don't want that heavy negative. So when we do the 48-hour vibe retreat, we really are going to clear out the energy so that we can reset your magnet, to help you change your mind, but also get you into this space where you are in such a good place that you are drawing in good things. You are drawing in the love. You are drawing in the money. You are becoming a magnet for opportunities. You are becoming a magnet for the right people, for the right experiences. And that's what we mean by becoming magnetic. And when you do this, and you guys have seen this, right? You've seen this, that when you start to play with the universe, when you start to play with these ideas, that you start to see little signs everywhere. You start to see repeating numbers. You start to have these coincidences pop up that you're like, that seems really specific to me. And that's one of our favorite things, is showing people the magic behind your personal power, and recognizing and activating your personal power, recognizing and activating your part in all of this, coming even back to that radical responsibility. Your thoughts are your personal power. Your mood is your personal power. And we want to give you really easy, fun, solid ways to raise that up so that you're seeing better things in your world.
When we invite the universe in, because this is also part of being the universe's it girl, when we invite the universe in, then we start to also feel a sense of ease and a sense of support, right? So when you're recognizing those signs, those synchronicities that are showing up for you, the repeating numbers, the butterfly that crosses your path that feels like it's just for you. And you start to get a sense of, wow, I'm really supported here in this world. The world gets so magical and it's so powerful. And then you start to feel like, okay, maybe then I can hand some of the work over to the universe. I can invite the universe in, I can invite God in, whatever you want to call that in, and ask for help, ask for support. And what I found for people and for myself is that it just like takes so much of the load off. You start to feel like you have a better life because now you are partnering with the universe. You are teaming up with the universe to work on the things that you want to work on, and you just feel that extra support.
Yeah. And here's the thing is coming back to the radical responsibility, right? Is if you don't change things, nothing changes. Like if you don't do something different, you are going to continue to feel the same. Like this is all up to you. We're giving you some good tips and tricks tonight, but like this is all up to you that if you don't, you're going to keep carrying around the old heavy baggage. You're going to keep attracting the same patterns and situations. I always say you're going to see the same person in a different meat suit. Like that is par for the course when you hold on to old energy and old baggage. And like also you deserve to live a life that you are proud of, that feels juicy and delicious and good for you. And that's what we want for you guys.
Yeah, we want to bring all of the magic. And we know that you have a lot going on. We know that you're very busy. So we want to give you guys the opportunity to heal your life over the course of 2 days.
Yeah. So we've put together two different options. And the one I'm excited about both of them, to be perfectly honest. But the one I was telling Christy, like, I just feel fucking jittery about, like, I'm so excited about it. So we're doing a 48-hour vibe upgrade retreat, October 4th through the 6th in Orlando. So you can spend thousands of dollars in therapy over several years, or you can come in 2 days and we will get you cleared out. We will get you reset and we will get you kind of on your path to being a version of yourself that you love and really understanding how the inner work creates the outer work or creates like the outside change. Um, this retreat will positively impact not only yourself, your self-concept, your mood, your relationships, but also like we've seen people like scale their businesses. We've seen people attract love. We've seen from our last retreat, just all of these massive, incredible changes for people. So I really think any area of your life will be impacted with this opportunity.
Well, not just you, it's a ripple effect. A lot of the people that I work with are these helpers in the world. They're moms and like it's hard to take that time for yourself to do this work. But the thing is, and we've seen it happen with our other retreat that we did, that there's a ripple effect. So you work on you improve on you, and that impacts your children, your husband, your friendships, even people at your work. Like it just has this ripple effect that impacts everyone, because when you're in a better place, people are going to respond differently to you, and they're going to be responding even to the light that you are projecting out.
100%. And I just want to say we are going to be responding to the comments and the questions at the end. So drop them in the comments and we'll get to them when we're wrapping up. We'll answer a couple of those. But yeah, so we would love to have you in Orlando if you feel called. I think there's something special that happens when you say, I'm going to commit this time for myself. Like, I just think that I know being a mom of two, I've got travel ball, I've got kids in like show choir, like, and then I've got my own stuff. My husband's got his own stuff. And it's just so hard to find time to just sit down and make it about yourself. So grab a friend, make it cheaper on yourself. Like, it's going to be an incredible weekend. And if you're like somebody, I think I'm like this, like that maybe the community aspect, you maybe need more time to process or deal with stuff on your own. We also have another opportunity. So we have the 48-hour vibe retreat, which is I think we've got room for 10 total. It's an intimate experience, so we can make it personal and customizable to you. But the VIP solo retreat is something that we're just announcing right now for the first time. And this is an exclusively just about you customizable retreat. So this is just you spending 48 hours with Christy and I getting your life
all together.
Yep, you get both of us together for a full day. You come in the night before. It includes hotel, it includes food, it includes everything that the 48-hour vibe upgrade includes, but it's just you. It's just us and you all day. So I just think, like, imagine if you had just a full day or two to commit to yourself and your healing, how much different. Like, we talked about calling this the quantum glow up because we want to make that overnight jump, that like total transformation quickly. And this is exactly what we're doing with this, being able to change your life in 2 days or less.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun. And we get to dive in and do all of this work. We get to cover so much over the course of 48 hours. And again, like Nicole's saying, we're both busy. We're both moms. We have a lot going on. We know you guys are too. And so you don't always have the time to go to therapy every week and to go get energy work done and to do all of these things. So this is why we built it the way that we built it, so that people would have options to be able to do this work over the course of 2 days and to truly leave there feeling like they had changed their lives in so many different areas of their lives.
100%. So I dropped those links for the 48-hour vibe upgrade retreat and for the VIP solo day. And the VIP solo day, because it's new, we are doing a sale. It will be more money. So we are taking 5 people for that specific amount. And first 5 people to get to that will be it. And then the price will go up. So just putting that out there, but let's get to some questions. So Jillian said, I get into the states of flow, but I find it hard to maintain that high vibe ongoing. And I think that's true for a lot of people, that even when they start to have self-realizations or get in a good spot, it's like, how do I maintain it? And one thing that is necessary for me is like creating some kind of self-care routine. So I was saying, like, in that part about, 10xing your confidence, it's about saying I'm going to do something and then doing it. So for me, I have to set my energy up in the beginning of the day to have a successful day. I have to set my body up. I have to set my mind up. So those are my non-negotiables, and creating a morning routine specifically that kind of primes my mind and primes my energy for the day is the way that I'm usually good to go if I'm intentional about doing those things, which is most days.
Yeah, I have to take a lot of extra alone time to rebalance my energy field because my energy is so sensitive and always responding to the world around me. So that's something that really helps to support my flow. The other thing that is really important is like coming back to that radical responsibility, is being willing to take a look at that and to call ourselves out when we start to slip into that space of, am I trying to control this too much? This is something that I catch myself on all the time and have to redirect that and bring myself back to that place of flow and trust. And so oftentimes how I bring myself back to that flow is to intentionally choose to surrender it, to recognize I'm trying to control it, and then say, you know what, universe, God, take the wheel. I'm handing this up and I'm trusting you to take care of this or to guide me through what I need to do in this situation.
Absolutely. And Samantha said, what about when you keep calling yourself out and making changes and then it feels like it all unfolds is another layer and that needs to be faced and released. Okay, so here's the thing is, I don't think it's necessarily another layer, but when you start to level up your life, things will fall away. And I don't make the rules, and that's for us. And I think I keep that in mind, that everything is happening for me. Everything that happens in that actually helps me from getting worked up about a lot of things. Because if I believe that everything that happens is for me, not against me, then I know that even the things that feel like it sucks or it's hard or I'm like grieving a loss of some kind or whatever, I know that ultimately this is what it takes to get to my next level. I can't go to the next level if I'm staying in a shitty job that I hate. Like, how do I get to the next level if I'm going in dreading my 9 to 5, the most of my day I'm dreading? How am I going to get to the next level if I'm holding on to a relationship that sucks? How am I going to get to the next level if I'm holding on to beliefs that suck? And sometimes that's a hard grief loss, right? Is when we let go of something. So I'm thinking for you, Samantha, wouldn't look at it as like it's another thing that has to get released, but the universe is working in my favor. And this is maybe where you co-collaborate with the universe on this, is like, let this be easy. That's one of my favorite affirmations ever, is let it be easy. I'm going to let it be easy, and I'm going to let it be fun. One of the things on our website is like, healing doesn't have to be hard. A lot of people tell you it's hard and arduous and takes forever. And I don't believe that, which is why we're hosting a retreat called, 40-hour vibe upgrade, because I think that things can change like that. And I think they can change for the good. Do some things fall away? Yes, but they have to. They have to. And that's for you, not against you. So yeah, I'll stop there. Hi, Jennifer. Haven't seen you in a long time. We are so excited and so grateful for everybody who was able to jump on. If you're watching this on the replay and you have questions, shoot me an email. I'm more than willing to answer them. But we hope we see you guys at the 48-hour vibe upgrade. It's going to be an incredible time. I know our first retreat was just more than I could have manifested, to be honest. Like, it was just so much more than I thought it would be. It was so much more impactful. It was so much more life changing for people. Like, Christy and I just kept pulling each other aside, like, oh, like, this is better than I even thought it could be, because the universe plays a role too. Like, we have all our good intentions, and we have all our tool base, and we have 40 plus years of combined knowledge and mindset and intuition. But also God, but also the universe, but also there's this energetic element that just put the right people together. The people who set examples, the people who had been through there before. Like, it was so beautiful. So I hope, if you feel called to jump on this, that you do it. There is a payment option on my website so that you don't have to dive all in at once. Like, I know that can feel like a big commitment, but like I said, there's an option to do this, or you can just do it in smaller increments over time and over years. And I think, why not start your life now?
And I think that going all in on yourself, being willing to invest in yourself, is part of building a better life, is part of changing your life. It says, you know what, I'm willing to go all in on myself. I'm willing to really invest, because I know that it's going to support me and help me in making the kind of changes that I want to make in my life. I still feel emotional when I think about the retreat that we did before, because it's just been so powerful, even after the fact, to see the changes that people have made, and the connections that people made and continue to have with one another from that retreat. It's just a powerful, powerful thing. And it's hard to describe with words, but I promise you guys, it's worth the investment.
And the right people will know it's meant for them. I always feel like when something's right for you, you get this pull, you get this like, oh, I want that. So I would encourage you. And like I said, cheaper with a friend. So if you're like, grab your bestie, come have a girls' weekend with us. And it's going to be an incredible time. And if you're like, again, groups aren't for me, but man, I just want that like solo exclusive experience with like an all-day therapy with you guys. I hope you check it out to learn more about that. And please feel free to message me and ask questions, shoot me an email. I love you guys. I hope you got a lot out of this. I know we didn't have a ton of time, but I hope you were able to take some tips to start building a better life for yourself.
Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you. I'm sending you all light. I know this energy has been pretty brutal lately. I hope you guys take these tips and apply them. I think it's going to help you as you're navigating all of this.
Bye.